Morning, guys. Got my mask on this morning, just come up onto the rooftop. One of the things I will say, the best masks I've found since we're enforced to wear them, there's a Japanese shop called Miso. These ones are really thin and wearable. Quite simply, it's quite cooling on the face, doesn't get all sweaty. Yeah, so I think they're about €3, but anyway, recommend there if you want it. Well, if you want a mask, I don't think anybody wants a mask, but if you need one, it's good to be back in La Mata. I'm just up on the roof enjoying my morning coffee, listening to the birds, and just thought I'd do a little bit of an update. Good news is the car's actually in getting repaired at the minute. Very good news is they actually know what they're doing, and it's going to cost me just under €1,000 to fix everything it needs doing. To be fair, it's not the mechanic, it's the previous mechanics and the garage that sold it. So there's a lot of work getting done on it. There's the exhaust, the DPF filter, they're cutting out, it's going to Elche, putting a new one in, and then weld it back together and then send it back down. There's an issue with the injectors, which I knew there was an issue there, but they're saying there's an issue with all the seals and things, so they're redoing all the injectors and everything on it, because that's partly why there's a problem with the DPF. But these are all things that the garage that sold it to me knew about. So anyway, I'm writing that off as an experience. I'm looking forward to having a car that actually works, and hopefully going forward it's not problematic, so I'm happy about that. So what else has been going on? Been here about a week and it's been absolutely manic with work. There's been stuff constantly coming in from my office. I'm supposed to be on holiday, but got the work done, so I can't grumble too much. Because I certainly won't be booking it down this holiday because I haven't had one. Not last week anyway. Still looking at houses. The mortgage, like I said before, I've got a 60% I can get. I think even now, if I apply now, they'll give me 70%. But I'm sitting there thinking, you know what, if I wait till January, February, got Brexit looming, and let's be fair, it looks like Boris has got what he wanted, a no deal Brexit. There's no way he had any intentions of doing anything but that, because it actually involves a bit of thought, understand what your output is, etc. And let's be honest, I think it just bundles the way through the day. So yeah, I'm expecting a no-deal Brexit, no shock horror. It's been that since day one, because there was nothing drawn out. There was no big plans on this. It's where they were heading. Am I worried about it? The answer is no. I expect things won't be that different to what they are today. Reality is, people need to still be able to go wherever they want. People still need to trade. Money's still good in any country. But I do expect there will be some repercussions financially in the UK around trade. Because the UK is going to crash out of the EU. I think it's assuming it will just carry on business as usual and demand it like a spoiled child. But I do get the feeling the rest of the EU will think, you know what, let's just punish the UK. So let's wait and see. Why am I doing the old flag waving? Some of you may be asking. It's quite simply, I live on this planet. I'm automatically sworn allegiance and everything else from birth. Your name is chosen for you and everything else. And for me, I found around the world, not just Spain, but Philippines, Germany, France, Middle East. People generally are people. All the nonsense comes from politicians. So for me, the impact of all this arguing and fighting is, it's normally the people that end up paying the price, whatever happens. So for me, I'm for quite simply just recognising people as people. Politicians and people wanting to carve the maps up for themselves, that's that's politicians, that's governments. That will always go on, but please don't be fooled to think it's in your favour or your benefit. They're just using your name for it. So enjoy life instead. So so Brexit, expecting a crash out, expecting about 2 months of turmoil while they try and work out what they're actually doing. Not expecting trade and that to crash in the sense of food and things. What I'll probably expect is high tariffs. Cost of a banana going up by 20 pence or something. But beyond that, not expecting too much short term. I'm more worried about the COVID stuff, to be fair. Over here in Spain, there's somebody who asked me this morning, can foreigners travel to Spain? Of course you can. There's foreigners here. I'm one of them. It's not a problem to travel to Spain. The whole quarantine thing basically just meant that you have a 2-week quarantine period when you go back to the UK, etc. It doesn't prevent you from travelling here. And to be fair, I think one of the big things that doesn't really get recognised in all these inconclusive figures that we get from the governments is the ages of people. So I do find the information farcical at best, because I believe COVID as a disease in the UK, for example, is number 24 on the list. If you can name the other 23 ahead of it, put your answers on a postcard and send them in, because obviously we don't get them to the same extent we do with the COVID information. But there is a thing in propaganda which basically turns around and says if you repeat it often enough, people start to believe it. So I'll leave that one with you. I'm avoiding politics where I can. But it has impacted me severely this year for travelling backwards and forwards to Spain. But I don't let it be the end of the world. You know, at the end of the day, if I haven't travelled back, I've used the money wisely and put it in the bank towards the house. So it's no big loss beyond reduced family time. But this is probably going to be the worst year with the company I'm with, because I've done an equivalent of 3 years' work in 1 year, and now we're sort of getting into the next year already, which means I'm starting to get about 6 months ahead, which means it gets easier and easier as time goes on, which means next year travelling will be much easier. But also, I want to get the house next year. I think I'm going to do it in January or February, because the Brexit and the COVID stuff is going to push prices down a little bit. Not expecting massively, because some of the house prices here are magic numbers at best. But I'm expecting the house I'm interested in to still be on the market. I'll look a bit stupid if it doesn't, but that's business. You can jump in and pay the extra, or you can wait and risk it. I'm prepared to wait and risk it and get the right house. But one of the things I will say is January, February, I'll be probably paying 50% of it up front, which means mortgage is virtually nothing, and then try and pay the rest off within another year. But at the moment, I think what we'll do is we'll probably buy it, rent it out, either long-term or holiday rental, and then focus on getting another. Because my long-term view is to have 5 properties here as a bit of a retirement package. Although it won't be retirement, it'll be basically just coming to Spain, enjoying the sun and taking any worry off financials, because we'll all be squared up. Well, that shows my confidence in the market bouncing back on the holiday market. But in all honesty, speaking with the people I know that bring people to and from the airports, they've been saying the Scandinavians and that haven't been coming as much, but it's full of Brits. There's been more Brits here than normal. So I think what's happened is they've been cancelling flights further away around the globe and coming here instead. It's a bit more local, and you know, I'd say less risk. I mean, to be fair, I don't really find the COVID fiasco an issue anywhere. You know, even in the UK, and it's not really bothering me. Like I said, it's quite low down on the list. list of illnesses, for mortality rate and risks in the UK, yet at the same time it's getting trumpeted big style. I wish I'd bought shares in vaccines, or maybe some other people did. Anyway, so back to enjoying life. This morning it's coffee, then we're going to go down to the basketball court because my son's just waking up. We're going to go and play basketball for a couple of hours. What else have we done this week? Oh, we did go to the cinema as well this week, which was entertaining, taking a load of kids. Because you're not allowed to buy seats for lots of people, but you can buy lots of twos, because they've got to sit in twos. So you can turn up with 10 people, but you just have 5 parties of 2. But yeah, kids had a good time. Did KFC as well. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it might be worth it, because you can see stuff I don't talk about too much on the videos. Odun was a good restaurant we went to again this week. Odun is in Habaneras, Japanese. If you like Japanese food, photos on my Instagram. Las Flores we went to yesterday. That was good food. What do we have there? Wasn't anything too special food-wise, but I do like their tapas, really good tapas. But it was good portion, over excessive portions. But that was good. And then day before that, we were at Food Line, which is just down here. Their food is really good as well. That was for Ubi's birthday. So as you probably guessed, been eating out a lot. But now the car's hopefully back next week. We're going to start being a bit more mobile, which also means the video content will increase outside of the local area as we start expanding out again. Like I said, I've still got a lot of holiday left for work, and I plan on using it. I'm just hoping they don't keep locking the country down, because I think Madrid's in the lockdown at the moment. In a similar way, UK's got cities in lockdown. I just find the whole thing absolute madness. But hey ho, what's the big picture? Who knows? But anyway, main thing is just crack on, enjoy life, and just do what you can. Don't let it bother you. Everything outside your control isn't worth bothering about. Just focus on what you can do and what you can deal with. Everything else will just follow, whether you do something or not. So don't worry about it. Anyway, take care. And that's my update for this week. Try and see my phone with the sun in my eyes.